How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. I've sunshine enough to spread. It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't another kick in the head.
Whoa, easy there, easy. You've been out cold a couple of days now. Why don't you just relax a second? Get your bearings. Let's see what the damage is. How about your name? Can you tell me your name?
2010's Fallout New Vegas, developed by Obsidian Entertainment, is a game I love. At the time of putting this all together, I have under 300 hours played on this game. I remember when I was 8 years old. The 19th of October came around and I got my copy of Fallout New Vegas. At the time, I mainly would play games like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Halo 3. So New Vegas is my first ever actual RPG. Being an 8-year-old action addict, the first chance I got, I started killing things. I didn't understand the perk system or just how overall an RPG game works. I saw a gun, I'd shoot things. That's it. Replaying the game now makes me look back on this game as if it was some sort of last of its kind item. The predecessor to this game was barely anything great. Fallout 4 took everything Fallout 3 and New Vegas did well, just made it shit. The dialogue wasn't anything worth going through, the actual RPG systems weren't there, the story was a bore. Originally I was going to do this about Cyberpunk 2077, but after beating it once I lacked any motivation to replay it. So then I thought to myself, if I'm going to go ahead and make this, I'll do it about something I enjoyed. Something I go back to year by year. So, Fallout New Vegas it is.
Yippee-yay, there'll be no wedding bells for today. I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle.
Jingle jangle,
As I go riding merrily along.
jingle jangle,
And they sing, oh, ain't you glad you're single?
jingle jangle,
And that song ain't so very far from wrong.
jingle jangle,
Oh, Lily Bell,
oh Lily Bell,
oh, Lily Bell.
oh Lily Bell.
Though I may have done some fooling, this is why I never fell. Howdy, partner.
Before my yearly playthrough, I will always root out the type of character I want to play throughout the roughly 20 hours. For the playthrough I did this year, I chose to play a neutral Karma NCR character, maxing out my charisma traits straight away. Such a fucking nerd. I don't spend too much time modelling the character's face in New Vegas, since I'm not going to see it again once I end up getting Ranger armor. But the most important thing when I create this character is how I want them to be by the end of the game. During this playthrough, I envisioned my courier at the end of the game probably with the advanced riot armor, max modded anti-material rifle, and a 100 in most of the attack traits, maxed out intelligence charisma. I only really want to focus on Eddie and Boone, two of the companions available in the game, and I don't really want to favour either side of the Karma system. I want it to be neutral.
And now, I'd like to play one of my very favorite songs for you. Ladies and gentlemen, this next song goes out from me to you.
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone without a dream in my heart, without
To me, music is part of what makes an experience. If a scene is really well shot with amazing choreography, but the music is absolute dog, I won't even bother to fathom enjoying it. The same goes for video games. Music makes the experience. Idly walking around a map, play a nice calm ambient track. You're in a fight, play some more booming and intense music. A little in-game radio, license a list of songs that fits the game. I'll play 2 songs that feature in New Vegas and 2 songs from Cyberpunk 2077, where one of the game's only 2 redeeming qualities is the soundtrack.
To the town of our free rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip.
Vamos contando mucho, 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 mucho dinero. En la calle ando, recogiendo mucho, mucho, mucho dinero. Siempre ganando mucho, 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 mucho dinero. Muchos ceros en el banco, todo mi camero. Vamos contando mucho, mucho, mucho dinero. En la calle ando, recogiendo mucho, mucho, mucho dinero.
New Vegas' soundtrack is one of the best lineups I've had the pleasure to listen to. A vast array of classical artists with a few twists here and there. It works perfectly, especially with lounge singers being thrown into it, the soothing voice of Frank Sinatra swerving around your ears as you enter a casino. It's a great feeling, and it fits so goddamn well. The start of this game's main quest opens up with you leaving Doc Mitchell's house after getting domed by Benny. When you leave his house, you're blinded by the fucking sun, and then you make your first choice after loading the DLCs. It takes its time, it is pretty annoying. You can either go straight to New Vegas through the valley north, probably down to Cazadores. You can take the long road through Prim and track down Benny. You can stay in Good Springs and make some acquaintances, or you can fuck off into the hills and get lost. I decided to stay in Good Springs, help the locals. It's the least I could have done to repay them for helping me. I took it upon myself to help someone whose caravan was attacked by a gang known as the Powder Gangers. After talking to someone in the town, telling Joe Cobb to fuck off, I went and found Ringo. After bringing the town together, I had to set off for a showdown with the Powder Gangers. Most people end up defining their entire playthrough in the first hour, and this choice alone speaks for that. You have the choice to defend a small town from a gang that is threatening them, just help one person that may be able to put it all back in the future. Or you can side with the gang, wipe out the town, or you can bring in the fight and just let it watch and then go off with whoever the victor is. A majority of the main side stories of this game end up having multi-choice answers to whatever the dilemma is. In this instance, I choose to rally with the town, taking on Joe Cobb and his gang, decimating them pretty fast. After this fight, your reputation with the Good Springs town goes up. They accept you as one of their own for helping them, but word reaches fast to the Powder Gangers, leading them to turn against you right after. Each major or sub-major faction within New Vegas has their own reputation, which dictates their standing at the end of the game. The way your character acts throughout the game, whether that be your choices within a quest or side quest, your actions around the overall game world, it depicts how they stand with you. Before Fallout New Vegas, I hadn't seen any games implement this type of system other than the older Fallout titles. Morality, karma systems have always been implemented in games before, but an individual faction morality is something I never really had to pay attention to in other games. Travelling through the town of Prim, The player is given the choice to either keep walking, investigate the town. Inside the casino lies a bunch of townsfolk, trapped and waiting for powder gangers to come and attack. A squad of NCR troopers in need of reinforcements to seize the town, and a group of powder gangers inside the hotel, holding the town's former deputy hostage. After clearing the hotel and speaking with the former deputy, I gathered information to continue the main quest, but first I had to solve the problem within Prim.
Caravan, citizen...
Of course there is. You're her. And you're still as
Prim? Hayes units is stationed up there. We're having problems with some of the NCRCF convicts. What can I help you with?
A package courier found shot in the head near
I'd
Good
like
Springs
to help.
reportedly
We can't spare any more units. We have to maintain a minimum head count at the outpost. Orders from the west.
This program was brought to you
I see the wisdom in that. I'll radio for a unit to head up to Prim and offer some additional support.
Have you ever been in love with a
Sir.
Due to my decision to follow through with an NCR playthrough for this, I went straight to the tent to assist the NCR with taking over the town, clearing out powder gangers, and then travelling to the Mojave outpost to gather the reinforcements.
Yeah? Yeah, I just got word of that. There's a squad of rangers standing by. Sergeant McGee will take over as sheriff and the rangers will be his deputies. This means that aside from protection, the citizens will also need to be... Roger.
Hello.
Walking the road to Nipton, the courier experiences an ambush from a small raider gang. A sight where it's dispatched within seconds, should the courier be equipped early. In the distance, another gunfight breaks out, a girl and a guy within a shootout actually.
Did you see that? That crazy bitch just attacked me out of nowhere. No, none at all. We've been traveling together since I picked her up a few days ago, and she's been friendly this whole time. We'd actually been flirting a little when she suddenly pulled a gun out and began yelling at me to hand my caps over. Now that I think of it, though, she laughed when I threw her my money. I think what she really wanted was my Lucky Charm necklace. Yeah, every once in a while you can find a cap with a blue star on it. They're pretty rare, so I started collecting them. Really? I had no idea. What do you think I should do with them? They're all...
This encounter ends randomly. Either the girl survives, loots his corpse, and you can talk to her, or kill her. Or the guy survives and walks away in fear, still talks to you though. Both of them carry a valuable asset known as the Star Bottle Cap. Collecting 50 of these opens some sort of treasured vault, or at least that's what the game has everyone think. After killing him, because I want those bottle caps and deserve them more than anyone else does, I walk into the town of Nipton being greeted by some over-ecstatic powder ganger screaming about a lottery.
Smell that air! Couldn't you just drink it like booze? Are you kidding me? Never felt better. Yeah! What lottery? The lottery, that's what lottery. Are you stupid? Only lottery that matters. Oh my God, smell that air! Powder ganger? What? I mean, yeah, used to be, sure. But not no more. Powder gang is small time, man. I'm a winner! I won the motherfucking lottery! Bye.
This lottery was drawn to choose who isn't slaughtered by the tribe the courier is about to meet. The town of Nipton was used to house prostitutes, selling them to anybody who happened to come by. This goes against one of the many laws of this tribe follows, and because on this, mark the townsfolk and their customers as nothing more than degenerates, marking them off to be executed and crucified when they came. Caesar's Legion.
Don't worry. I won't have you lashed to a cross like the rest of these degenerates. It's useful that you happen by. I want you to witness the fate of the town of Nipton, to memorize every detail. And then, when you move on, I want you to teach everyone you meet the lesson that Caesar's Legion taught here, especially any NCR troops you run across. Where to begin? That they are weak and we are strong? This much was known already. But the depths of their moral sickness, their dissolution, Nipton serves as the perfect object lesson. Nipton was a wicked place, debased and corrupt. It served all comers, so long as they paid. Profligate troops, powder gangers, men of the Legion, such as myself. The people here didn't care. It was a town of whores. For a pittance, the town agreed to lead those it had sheltered into a trap. Only when I sprang it did they realize they were caught inside it too. Yes, and herded them to the center of town. I told them their sins, the foremost being disloyalty. I told them that when legionaries are disloyal, some are punished, the others made to watch. And I announced the lottery. Each clutched his ticket, hoping it would set him free. Each did nothing, even when loved ones were dragged away to be killed. Ha! Innocent. Hardly. Cowardly, though. They outnumbered us, yet not once did they try to resist. They stood and watched as their fellows were butchered, crucified, and burned. One by one, they stood and hoped their turn would not come. Each cared only for himself. As are all crimes, if you feel strongly about it, attack us, and soon you won't feel a thing.
For coming across them for the first time, you bear witness to Volpez and Coulter and his group readying to leave the town after burning it down and crucifying anyone they didn't grant the mercy of simply just killing. You are asked by Volpez himself to spread the beautiful atrocities which they have committed within the town of Nipton to the NCR and anybody you come across. To which I thought to myself, murdering everyone is cool when this is an NCR playthrough, so fuck you, fuck your sports gear, fuck your red skirts. I pulled out my grenade launcher, killed them all, and carried on along the road out of Nipton towards Novak.
When an irresistible force such as you meets an old immovable object like me, you can bet just as sure as you live, something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give.
God damn it. Yeah, I guess maybe I am. But not like you. Huh. Maybe it should have been you I was expecting all along.
Within the town of Novak, I entered the Dinobite gift shop to grab a unique weapon known as That Gun. No intention to use it, it's dog shit, but it sells decently. Afterwards, I headed upstairs to get the only reason worth coming to Novak within an NCR playthrough. Former 1st Recon Sniper, Boone.
And they only took Carla. Someone set it up. I don't know who. My wife's dead. I want the son of a bitch who sold her. Bring him out in front of the nest here while I'm on duty. I work nights. I'll give you my NCR beret to put on. It'll be our signal, so I know you're standing with him. Good. I'll make it worth your while. No one in town knows that I know what happened to my wife.
Okay. Hello there. It's good to... Don't suppose you care to trade.
I'll tell it to you.
Doing a quick quest for him to let him get a brief snapshot on an old bitch's head for selling his wife to slaves, and then heading off towards Boulder City for a showdown with a familiar face.
I guess I should.
When you enter Boulder City, you find one of the people who are responsible for shooting you in the head, a member of the Great Khans. After confronting him, you get given the location of a man who shot you and took the object known as the Platinum Chip. The Tops Casino on New Vegas Strip. Benny backstabbed the Khans and went running. As much as I dislike the Khans for the filthy street druggies they are, they have 2 NCR soldiers held hostage. I negotiated their release and had the Khans safely returned to Red Rock Canyon and headed along.
We walk out of here, nobody gets hurt. I can't believe I'm doing this. But alright, the hostages can go. The NCR had better keep their end of the deal, though.
With the location of Benny, his distinctive cigarettes and his lighter, the time had come to finish tracking him down and put things back to how they should have been. No, fuck off! No! No, 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 no!
Give me all your cap. Whoa, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was you. Please don't hurt me. I've got a wife and
Entering Freeside for the first time, you see an absolute change in atmosphere. Muggers, chem addicts, people on the street advertising in stores. But one thing that just sticks is how overall shit this place is compared to the Strip, which itself is a highlight of the game. Walking up to the gate to witness some bum get blasted by Securitrons is a bit of a sight itself. You can't get past without a passport or a Summer 2000 caps, so I have to backtrack to a store to buy a forged passport, which is tedious in all honesty.
Come fly with me, let's fly away. If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in far Bombay. Come on and fly with me, let's fly away.
Howdy, partner.
Come fly with me, let's float down to Peru.
Entering the Strip for the first time is something. Upon entering the Strip, what you're expected to do is go visit Mr. House, a prominent figure within the game, and one of 4 sightings to the ending. He's a bit of a twat, so I pass on that every time. I walk straight towards the Top Casino to set things right, persuading Swank, Benny's doorman, to let me keep my weapons and head on up to the suite where I ambush him.
Stinking punk, trying to play house like that. Tell you what, I'll call Benny, keep him away from his suite. You go search the place. Here's the key, it's on the 13th floor. It's a room with the double doors, can't miss it. Maybe you'll find something we can show to Mr. House and get him arrested. Take him out? Jesus. Okay, and don't worry about the rest of the chairman. I'll keep him from getting involved. Here's your stuff back, in case Benny don't go quiet, you dig? I'll tell the boys to give you a pass to pack some heat. Go on then. Elevators are past the slot machines on your right.
What in the goddamn? You? How could you be? Oh, Swank, you finky bastard. Can't do that, baby. The chip, it's special. But savor this, baby. I can comp you the presidential, best suite in the house. After what you've been through, you deserve a taste of the VIP lifestyle. Give me a moment or two to catch my breath and knock back a few I'll clue you in.
Well, hello, sugar. Mr. House is waiting for you in his office. Not many people know this, but Mr. If you happen to find any out in the... You do? Why, that's just wonderful.
Welcome to the Vegas Strip.
You've been a busy courier, haven't you? You take your obligation to deliver a package very seriously, an ethic for which I am grateful. I will admit, when you ignored my invitation, I predicted negative outcomes. But you have a way of exceeding expectations, don't you? Well, enough. Let's have the chip then. Fine. Give me the chip and I'll pay you 4 times the delivery bonus stipulated in your contract. How's that? Very well. 5 times your delivery bonus. Not 1 cap more. Delivery of the platinum chip is non-negotiable. I invite you to think carefully of... By the time I was 30 years old, I was a billionaire 30 times over. I founded and ran a vast economic empire. Do you really think I'm going to let it up? I spent 2 centuries searching for the platinum chip. It's my invention, my property, mine! Now be a good courier and deliver it. You need it.
After that, I head to Mr. house to talk. As I said before, he's a bit of a twat. Instead of giving him the platinum chip, I end up going into his chamber, letting his decrepit corpse out, and blasting it to pieces for a bit of a laugh. Bats in it. This is a blow to things in terms of the game, so the best thing to do logically would be for the courier to hide out for a while. I headed north to meet the Happy Trails caravan and go on a trip to New Canaan. And that's how Honest Hearts begins.
Worries me, Jed. Those descents we made through that slot canyon back up there. Ain't no way we're getting back out the way we come. And then what?
God damn it, Stella heard you the first time. And the 15th, too. The new Canaanites will know a way. And if they don't, we've got the maps on our friend's Pip-Boy over there. Enough lollygagging. Get moving. And keep an eye out for tribals.
Sorry to bother you with reality, old Jed. Who cares if we can't get back out the way we come? That's not a problem.
Hold on now. Could swear I heard something up ahead. God damn it, ambush! Cover people! Watch yourselves!
I don't deserve this.
As the convoy you went with gets ambushed, you'll have to fend for yourself, killing some local tribals like the true-blooded American you are. You witness Zion Valley for the first time, and honestly it's beautiful. It's a great change from the normally ugly, bland, khaki colours of the Mojave. There's only 3 redeeming qualities for me with this expansion. That would be Joshua Graham, Zion Valley, and with Desert Ranger armor. I find this expansion boring and I dread playing through it. I don't care for the characters nor the story. I just want my armor. Burned Man says, you can't expect God to do all the work. The only enjoyable quest I can think of from this, out of the 5 side quests and main quests, is where we are told to take drugs, kill a bear. That's from Tribal. The rest of it consists of finding a compass, fixing it, finding a map or some shit, disabling traps, and then telling the press guy to either fix his tribe, let them fight, or let them flee. Fuck them natives. I'll let them flee. I didn't bother to help them. It's boring. The whole expansion is just boring.
UAV above. And I've heard it's a bad idea to tempt the wrath of Kasha.
Stupid bitch! I can't feel my body, cause I pop a lot of molly. Welcome to the party, bitch, I'm about to catch your body. Put your man in shit.
Do you know what it means? Expect God to do all the work.
Joshua Graham, the Burned Man, is the character who still to show himself within Honest Hearts, but it's not a hard thing to do in all honesty. He's a man of God, a Mormon, I think. Over 3/4 of his dialogue are Bible quotes, so I don't understand what he says, really. He's a cool as fuck character though. Behind the bandages, he's a guy who caused the Legion to lose the first battle of Hoover Dam. And because of that, Caesar covered him in pitch, lit him on fire, threw him off of Hoover Dam, and when which he, I shit you not, just stood up and walked off. Overall, he's the only good character in this DLC because Daniel is a pussy.
I thought I heard the pacification fields kick in. All right, shh, nobody move. I'll handle this. It's a lobotomite! Here, in the dome! Oh, as if this situation couldn't get any worse. Now we've got lobotomites! Dala, get the spray before it excretes all over everything. I know what it is, Dala. I want to know why it's down here. With its limbs all over everything. And are those penises I see wriggling on its feet? Disgusting. Now it's holding up an array of fully erect hand penises. If it tries to insert them, activate
You have to cut me off. Think I like it never happened to me. We were nothing. I don't even need your love, but you treat me like a stranger, and I feel so loved. No, you didn't have to stoop so low. Have your friends collect your records and then change your number. I guess that I don't need that though. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Now you're just somebody that I used to know.
Obsidian must have been on some crack or some shit when they wrote up this DLC, and I love it. They went all out with the honestly I don't give a fuck style, and just made this Old World Blues. Trapped inside Big Empty, or the Big Empty, is a large research facility which holds the best minds from the pre-war. Inside of robots? Robots, yeah. When you start this expansion, they've already taken your brain, your spine, your chest, They just took it and expect you to be like, haha, yeah man. So when you confront them at first, they think you're just another lobotomite, and they treat you as such. The dialogue itself, bro, it's just fucking funny. Right, let me get started on the actual expansion. So, the story goes as such: you've been yoinked and sliced by these robot nerds and brought into some strange science facility. The group of doctors expect you to go out and find personality chips for these machines they made. Alongside that, you find them powerful science tools, so you can help them defeat the evil old Mr. Dr. Mobius. So you go out and do such, bringing all these small machines to life. The twin light switches who try to fuck you, the small Securitron who wants mugs, the toaster who wants to light the whole world on fire, the very suggestive seed machine, the old man Autodoc, the thing people only use to buy items from, which I forgot the name of, and the jukebox, which, you know, all of which they're the main cast of characters from this expansion you interact with a lot. Once you've collected all of these, you get the science tools, which are the X8 antenna, a gun which has a dog's brain in it. Yeah. A prototype knockoff of the Chinese stealth armor, and then you're sent to go and fight Dr. Mobius, the big bad of the expansion. So you go there. You fight some giant robot scorpion, and then confront Mobius, to which you realise he's like your senile old grandfather who has dementia. He gets angry sometimes. You just shouldn't kill him. Normally I just do it because it's funny, but I genuinely feel bad for him.
Huh? Oh, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing a little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely. Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine. Went black a while ago. That's old age for you. Should look at getting the visual nerves reattached. It's just that the right eye would see the wrong things. The flying tortoises were the worst. Would you care for a mentat? Really? Do... The ghosts aren't real? That...
So let him live. I took my brain back and then went to and told the robo-twats in the think tank to get along with him, and thus ended the story of Old World Blues. The characters of Old World Blues are unique. You have the machines from the player home, Muggy, a Securitron who's been rewired to collect mugs, thus making him depressed. The twin light switches, who both want to fuck anything and everything despite being light switches. The jukebox, who wants to provide enjoyment for those around him, and the Autodoc machines like an old western town doctor. And who could forget the evil toaster?
I am online once again! Tremble, world, before my electric heating coil of doom! A toaster is just a death ray with a smaller power supply. As soon as I figure out how to tap into the main reactors, I will burn the world! Buddy, if my heating element were just a little bigger, you'd be on fire right now! On fire! Have you ever tried to indulge in all-consuming urge to kill when you don't have opposable thumbs?
Who wants to light the world on fire, and God forbid you have bread when he's not around.
You'd have a lot of pent-up
The doctors of the think tank, yeah, I'm not really bothered about them. Other than Dr. Klein, who has the most upfront personality out of all of them. His dialogue is great, and it gets me laughing every single time I play through the expansion. Overall, the whole DLC of Old World Blues is always a delight to play through. The dialogue is so enjoyable, and the quests themselves are just fun to play through. So what better to do than go from something fun to something literal fucking stress-inducing?
Is
is inviting you to begin again. Come to a place where wealth, excitement, and intrigue await around every corner. Stroll along the winding streets of our beautiful resort, make new friends, or rekindle old flames. Let your eyes take in the luxurious expanse of the open desert under clear, starlit skies. Gaze straight on into the sunset from our villa rooftops. Countless diversions await. Gamble in our casino, take in the theater, or stay in one of our exclusive executive suites that will shelter you and cater to your every whim. So if life's worries have weighed you down, if you need an escape from your troubles, or if you just need an opportunity to begin again, join us. Let go and leave the world behind at the Sierra Madre grand opening this October. We'll be waiting. The Sierra Madre Casino, in all its glory, is inviting you to begin again. Come to a place where wealth, excitement, and intrigue await around every corner. Stroll along the winding streets of our beautiful...
Welcome to the Sierra Madre Casino, where you feel nothing but agitation, stress, the inhabitants are ghosts, and the area is intoxicated. Dead Money is a great DLC. It just has a bunch of really frustrating mechanics. Quick saving is very much needed, otherwise you're going to end up losing any progress you've made. The radios hidden around the area which set off your bomb collar, something you can't even destroy or turn off, are plain fucking annoying. The toxic cloud isn't too bad. It could be most cases, it can be avoided. The story of Dead Money has the courier being kidnapped after entering an abandoned Brotherhood of Steel bunker, waking up in the courtyard of this untouched resort-like place. A man with a Brotherhood Elder's uniform appears as a hologram above the fountain, making demands for you to follow. He points out a bomb collar around your neck, the same collar which can be found in the Big MT. He orders you to go to the Sierra Madre police station to pick up the first companion. As you arrive there, you find a troubled Niken super mutant called Dog. Dog swallowed his collar and trapped himself inside. After disabling the radios, you can attempt to speak to him. Except it's an alternate personality known as God. Until you play an audio tape from your Pip-Boy, Dog won't come out of his cage. After he's come out, he follows you back to the fountain, smashing anything in his way. The second companion you're sent after is in the Lounge Singer. He's known as Dean Domino. You meet him atop a tall building and he asks you to sit down with him to chat. He threatens you with a trap he's set in the seat, but in reality it's bluff. I called it quickly. He agreed to come back with me. We're both in the situation. He helped guide me through the toxic cloud surrounding the area. The final companion I was sent to find was a woman named Christine. She was trapped within a broken auto dock. After arriving at the Sierra Madre medical clinic, I disabled the radios and helped her out of her machine. She lacks the ability to speak and was scarred all over. I didn't have time for her hand signals like some bitch out of Naruto, so I sent her back to the fountain. After we were all at the fountain, I directed each individual into their positions to set off the Grand Gala event. Dog was taken to a control panel and switched over to God to allow him to operate it properly. Dean on a rooftop to connect circuits. He asked me to tell off some security shit, so I did that, so we could feel safer. Christine, the woman whose circle of steel armor could be found in the Big MT, took her to an underground substation. After all were in place, I climbed a bell tower to set off the gala event, regrouped and headed into the casino. After yet again being knocked out and repeated pattern in this fucking game, your companions have been split from you. Dog lies in the kitchen where he set off a gas leak. After closing the gas valves and talking to him, he seems to have a moment where he merges his personalities and becomes the person he was before. After Dog is handled, I went over to the stage theatre where Dean Domino awaited me. Deactivating the radios and then playing his rendition of Something's Gotta Give. He came down to talk to me. It's weird because every playthrough I've had before I've had to kill him. He was just chilling. Finally, I went to the suites to find Christine, which for some reason she wrongfully assumed I was working with Elijah. I killed her pretty quickly. Some bold bitch isn't going to be enough to put me down. I ran into the lobby, I let the collar go off and came back, and then confronted Elijah in the vault. I just killed him and left. I had no reason for any really. I didn't need the gold bars, I just wanted to kill him. It would be funny. The characters of Dead Money are interesting. Dean Domino, a hard-line singer who was set to perform at the Sierra Madre before the bombs fell, has a strong ego problem and represents a strong sense of jealousy, especially towards the founder of the casino, Frederick Sinclair, who had become extremely successful despite so many failures. And in an attempt to get back at him, Dean, with his former partner Vera, planned to break into the vault and steal the riches. After Keys got cold feet, Dean Domino threatened to release evidence of her Med-X edition, blackmailing her to follow his plans. He fits well with the theme of greed that you can see all over this expansion. He betrays the courier and betrays many other friends, just so he could get his obsession with getting into that vault and getting the riches, just to put his unwarranted grudge against someone to an end after almost 2 centuries. God and Dog are a psychologically disturbed nightkin that harbours 2 personalities. Dog is brought up by the sound of Father Elijah's voice. Dog is submissive, mindless, and blatantly and willingly following orders from someone who treats him like utter shit, a slave to capture an assistance for his plan. Dog is a childlike character who follows nothing but pure instinct, just like all other super mutants, conditioned to follow the orders of the Master from Fallout 1. God is the contrast to this. He's a voice of reason between the two, looking to free them from the grasp of Elijah. God is independent and intelligent. He likes to shelter Dog as if they were siblings. Dog treated as the younger. God's stuck with an internal dilemma as to who the original personality of the two is, as God is the voice of the reason he struggles to combat, whereas Dog, being the mindless brute he is, sees something and then goes smash. Christine Royce, a former member of the Brotherhood of Steel, Circle of Steel, an internal affairs unit, tracking the former elder, Father Elijah, across the Mojave Wasteland, Big MT, all the way to the Sierra Madre. After his desertion during the Battle of Helios 1, finding him in the casino, he trapped her in an auto-dock machine, something that tore her voice box out and left her permanently scarred. There's no themes behind her. She shows fear and struggle, that's it. She's bland, she knows sign language, she can do hand signals, that's it.
That structure you see above the fountain, the Sierra Madre Casino, you need to break inside. Heist. Too many years in the making.
Father Elijah is the primary antagonist of Dead Money, a very selfish, controlling man who wants to have power, wealth, anything and everything that he can get to make himself the biggest, using explosive collars on prisoners to force them to do his bidding, otherwise they die. He's got good morals and intentions, all carried out through some terrible actions. He represents some form of damaged person, which fits perfectly with the mixed themes around Dead Money. Greed, lust, suffering, personality, just like any other sort of casino is filled, even if it's 200 years after a nuclear holocaust.
Life. Family. Those to care for, and those who will care for you. To those who know these joys.
Yeah. I am a menace. Keep me a ratchet like tennis. On with this shit like I'm Dennis. I started this shit, I'm offended. Niggas be hating, trying to limit my image. He want the smoke, 2 to 3 count with the scope. And then they clip long as a rope. We wipe his nose, tell like he had him a cold. I knew the boy was a hoe, pull up. And then they clip long as a rope. We wipe his nose, tell like he had him a cold. I knew the boy was a hoe, pull up with the gang. You know that we buying it. What is your set, nigga? What is you climbing? I am a beast. You cannot time it, no.
Lonesome Road is some of the best narrative writing I've experienced, despite the lack of writing there is. Before the headshot, before the dementia, this is what the courier did. Lonesome Road tells the story of you, walking the courier's mile. You see the divide for what it is, for what you did to it, destroyed by nuclear fire you caused. You pick up Eddie, a robot from Mojave you may have met before, and with him you learn his story, you learn your own. When you step out into the divide, you subconsciously begin to detonate smaller warheads just so you can move ahead. A man speaks to you through Eddie, a man named Ulysses, someone who witnessed what you did and has followed you from the shadows ever since.
There's your signal. Faint, but there. Just like NCR. Voice without fire, without strength. Sick. Her tales of you walking the Mojave, giving the two-headed bear strength, giving hollow men like Kimball, like Crocker, half the life Hanlon had. Now, let's test that strength, that conviction, Courier. No, not you. You know their flag. I'm a courier. Courier 6 was Courier 6. Like you, and not like you. In all the ways that matter. Spent too many years looking for you. Now letting you come to me. Thought carrying that ship would end you. No. You got lives in you. Hard to kill. Storms, bullets, sand and wind. Yet still you walk. For now. Words are the only way couriers meet. Sometimes it's the paths we walk. But no. We've never spoken before now. You may not know my voice, but we've walked the same places. The long 15 to Prim. That wasn't the only road you ever walked. I've been to your home. The place you kept returning to. May not be the place you were born, or the place you gave life to. Same thing. People forget couriers can keep communities alive until the day they're gone and their breath catches in their throat. We all have death following us. Only a question of how close. You dodged it. For a time. You're good at that. Talent for it. With that chip weighing you down. A burden. Let's death move a little faster without me pulling the trigger. Meant to. No. Never. Your burden. Weigh you down long enough to let death catch up to you. But you survived. There was death in that package. And while the chip is important to old world ghosts, no. You are more dangerous than that chip ever could be. Maybe why you found each other. Little piece of the old world speaking to you. Waiting for you to wake something else up with it. Promises to keep to others. And the Mojave's dangerous enough left to the land. The land has its way. If I wanted you dead, we would have met sooner. Not sure that's the way this ends. Might be that history needs to have its say. If not, then messages will do. America sleeps ahead of you. The divide.
Another courier. He walked where you walked, talked to who you talked, did the things you did. You walked through the collapsed tunnels to see bodies of those who tried to survive what you had caused. The marked men who tried to rebuild a society solely on their hatred for you. Only for you to then do it all over again, firing a nuclear missile from the Ashton silo, decimating Hopeville once more. final stretch of the Courier's Mile approaches as you walk, entering the final stop, a silo filled with warheads and the largest missile of them all. I confronted Ulysses and spoke with him.
Even in this place, NCR's shadow falls. Judging by your shadow, maybe you can't let your machine go. Doesn't matter now. Either way, the Divide Giants are awakening. The missiles here on their way home. There is no way to stop them. You've answered your own question, and you'll die with that question on your lips. You don't see, listen, even when it's all around you. No matter if I nailed it into your head like a gift from Caesar. You brought the Divide to life, Courier. You walked the road, brought the bear, then the bull, brought me, following your tracks. And when I saw the divide you made, I saw a second chance, a new way of thinking. My world, no longer the East. And you brought the West in that package, destroyed it all, nearly killed me, flesh and spirit. You destroyed something larger than the bear, greater than the bull. And even when you could have turned away, you brought it again in that machine. You destroyed a nation taking its first breath, a place that could have been my home. Now, I'll destroy yours. No. Now there is purpose. I believe you when you say you were careless. The Divide, the chip, the machine you brought here. Many messages can be taken from that, intended or not. What I do now is an act of conviction. Blame you? No. Learned from you. Both the weapon to kill a nation and the strength to do it. You showed me a road, a way to carry my message. You've already answered for what you've done. Now the flag you follow will answer for it. No, not the Mojave. The West. All that's been built since America died. Same symbols as before the war. Now a flag carried by a tribe of children. You walked the West, didn't stay. You know the reason. The bear grows without structure, follows a symbol without knowing its history. And knowing that you believe in a bear's sickness and have given it strength, and that gives more reason to lay waste to your homeland. After this, only one flag will remain over the Mojave. Let that one fly, or destroy itself. Your actions have carried strength. If you speak for the two-headed bear, I'll hear your words, even if I will be the only one to hear them. If you believe it should not die this day, then answer me why. History has proven this. Our history. And you think that you have this strength? Enough for all of NCR. The West is not the Divide, and nothing you can do can prevent the missile's launch. Convincing me changes nothing. It may. Our enemy is again.
Restructuring his trail of thought to realize that the hopelessness of setting off yet another missile, and finally wiping out the marked men outside, concluding the story of Lonesome Road.
I am a menace, keep me a ratchet like tennis. On with this shit like I'm Dennis. I started this shit, I'm a finish. Niggas be hating, trying to limit my image. He want the smoke, 2 to 3 count with the scope. Extended clip long as the rope. We wipe his nose, tell like he had him a cold. I knew the boy was a hoe, pull up. Extended clip long as the rope. We wipe his nose, tell like he had him a cold. I knew the boy was a hoe, pull up with the gang. You know that we buying it. What is your set, nigga? What is you climbing? I am a beast, you cannot time it. No, extended clip long as the rope.
Ulysses ties all the expansions in. He was once a member of Caesar's Legion under Joshua Graham, the at the time legate. He travelled to the Big Empty and studied the technology of an old world. He roamed among the Sarah Mage and its ghosts. He was the one who passed the platinum trip onto the Courier. He's the reason this journey began. This questline consists of solving the NCR's problems, travelling to the Nellis Airfield base and the things that go boom, to resolve the standing issue of the boomers, and secure their help for the final battle of Hoover Dam, giving them a B-29 bomber plane to fly overhead, and King's Gambit, where you are to help resolve the issues in Freeside with a group of impersonators known as the Kings. I killed him, it was funny. After this, you're expected to go and sort out the drug-dealing Great Khans. Once again, I wiped them out because they are natives. And I am not. I killed them because they're drug dealers. Scum. They deserved it, I think. After that, I went over to the Gomorrah and solved that issue fast. They wouldn't let me keep my guns, so I wouldn't let them keep their lives. I'd already blasted Mr. House into chunks, there's no need to cover that again. The Brotherhood of Steel. They isolate themselves on the ground like emo teenagers at a dead-mouse rave. I shot them up, I blew their bunker to pieces. Goodbye. After that, I got tasked to protect the president of the NCR. But despite everything I've done for them, up to this point they still don't trust me enough. So I had to steal a jumpsuit to access the helipad later on. A Legion assassin climbed into the sniper tower mid-speech. I killed him, radioed it in, and went and defused a bomb that was on the vertibird, so the president could escape. And all of that led to the end of the game, the second battle of Hoover Dam.
It's best not to keep the general waiting.
Well, you took your sweet-ass time coming here. Let's get... You've done some great work for us up to this point, and we're hoping to use your unique ability. Thanks to the task my subordinates have delegated to you, we now have a chance.
Sir, I don't know what happened. A bunch of Legionnaires just stormed into the power station.
Into the power station? How is that possible?
I don't know, sir. There was some talk of them entering through the clog intake tunnels, but I don't have any confirmation. On my way up here, there was some chatter about their commander, the Legate, I think he's called, set up at some kind of base on the eastern bank.
Okay, listen here. Unless we can get some additional... Like I...
The second battle starts with Legion forces raiding them down through drain pipes. I killed them swiftly as you'd expect, since again, Tribal's pushing through. Pushing through to the visitor center and then onto the dam surface itself. Atop the dam, you just witness the actual battle unfold. NCR and Legion alike fighting for control of the area as you push forward. You see their numbers dwindle more and more, to the point where the boomers drop missiles onto them. As you approach the Legate's camp, the Legion forces run severely thin. By now you've wiped out most of them. When you get inside the camp, that is made even more apparent. You climb the mountain to meet the Legate herself. After some dialogue, which is, this time can't be fucked to sit through, we dueled.
There you are.
You'll pay for that! Had enough?
He tried to run, so a 40mm grenade launcher came out, finished him off. And that is how Fallout New Vegas' story ended.
That's a fine bit of work back there. Truth told, I'm impressed to say the least, and that... We clean up. After that, we'll see what happens when the... Can't keep the courier spirit down, eh? Kind of...
Fallout New Vegas still remains as the best game I've played. Excluding Honest Hearts, I look forward to replaying it year after year. I'll continue to sink hours into this game because, in all honesty, it's a fun, enjoyable game to play. The story, in my view, is amazing, and yeah, it has faults, but overall it's enjoyable. The character creation system works well and allows me to either create some fucking monstrosity that shouldn't even step on its earth, or just some normal person. The mechanics such as weapon and arm maintenance makes things feel even more immersive. A big trait for Bethesda RPGs other than Fallout 4. I love Fallout New Vegas. I always did, I always will. This game defined the genre it's in, and sticks out as the best of its kind.